We finally have our first robot Rideline in Overdress. Although this deck may seem like Oonga Boonga, Restand Vanguard, Go Face, we actually have some options when it comes to the strategy orders. Let's get right into it. Starting with the grade 1 and the grade 2 of the Rideline, they both have similar effects where when the grade above it rides on top, it searches the deck for a strategy order of its own grade. So when the grade 2, Blue Deathster Heavily Deathray Stelvane rides on top of the grade 1, which is Dark Verdict Vindinus, you search your deck for a grade 1 strategy order, reveal it and add it to your hand. And when the grade 3 rides on top of the grade 2, you search for a grade 2 strategy order, reveal and add it to your hand. Don't forget that to use this effect, the grade 0 of the Rideline, Blue Deathster Sora Period, must be in the soul. Therefore, you never want to soul blast it out. They both have a secondary effect that if you don't reveal an order, you get to call itself out from soul. Ideally, you will want to get an order from deck as it sets you up for later turns as well as deck decks. On top of that, these units aren't really that impressive. You are making an 18k column with no additional effects. The boss unit of the deck, Blue Deathster Skyrender Avantgarda says, Act Vanguard Circle once per turn. If your soul has Blue Deathstar Sora Period, cost, put a strategy card from Order Zone into soul, draw a card. Until end of turn, this unit gets power plus 5k. And auto Vanguard Circle once per turn. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked. If its attack hit a Vanguard or you Persona roll this turn, cost CV1 and discard a card from hand, stand this unit and it gets drive -1 until end of turn. Note that for this unit to restand, we have to either have hit a Vanguard or Persona roll. Because hitting an opponent's Vanguard is not a guarantee as we can't control how our opponent will guard, we should try to focus on the other route, to Persona ride as consistently as possible. Before that, however, what are these strategy cards that I keep mentioning? All the strategy cards are set orders. First off is the grade 1 Disruption Strategy Kelshroud. Auto, when this card is put into soul from your order zone, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. Choose one of your vanguards and it gets power plus 5k until end of turn. Because there is only one set order for each grade, we don't get much option when it comes to what orders to run. With that said, I think this card is not bad. Just holding it over our opponent, letting them know that you can retire their most valuable unit during your turn if you choose to is quite powerful. As you will see later on, a lot of the cards that we run in our deck is catered towards consistently Persona riding and cards that rely on Persona riding to trigger. Therefore, having a removal option is decent. Next up is the grade 2 strategy order, Bombing Strategy Dusting. Auto, when this card is put into your soul from your order zone, choose one of your vanguards. Until end of turn, it gets power plus 10k, and your opponent cannot intercept nor play blitz orders. I think this is the weakest set order of the 3, but it does have its niches, such as making your opponent's Obsidides on the field not being able to intercept. I guess this is a good time to also introduce the grade 3 set order, Shock Strategy Deathwinds. Auto, when this card is put into your soul from your order zone, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose one of your Vanguards, and until end of turn, it gets auto Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks, all of your front row units get power plus 5k until end of turn. This order essentially also gives 10k to our Vanguard, if we either have hit or Persona row, and also gives 10k to our other 2 front row units. With all these options of the strategy orders, this is why I said earlier in the video that this deck is more than just an Overlord clone, where you can maximize your turn by making the right call on which strategy to use. There are 2 more Blue Deathstars introduced in this set, but honestly, they're pretty bad. I'll still go over them quickly so you know their effects. Blue Deathstar Ruri Turing says Act Rearguard Circle once per turn, cost, Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from hand. Choose a grade 1 strategy card from your drop and put it into your hand. And the other, Blue Deathstar Zaxxon Osfer says Auto, when this unit is placed on rear, cost Soul Blast 2, choose a grade 2 strategy order from the drop and put it into your hand. Although we do have excess soul to use in this deck, using them on retrieving an order just doesn't seem worth it to me. Plus we do have something else that can retrieve the orders if we do feel like it. So we want to consistently Persona ride, right? What better way than a card that directly searches for the Persona ride copies, Operate Master Freiheits. I'll just read the part of the card that is useful to us. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if your order zone has a set order, cost CB1 and discard a card from hand, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same card name as your Vanguard or up to 1 product card, reveal it and put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. It guarantees us Persona Ride, and from that it also guarantees a restand of our Vanguard. A card that capitalizes on us Persona Riding is Enlightened Age Dragon. Act Rearguard Circle once per turn. If you Persona roll this turn, cost Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from your hand, and this unit gets power plus 5k until end of turn. Choose a set order from your drop and put it into your hand. And choose a set order from your drop with a different card name from the card put into your hand with this effect and put it into your hand. This is one of the reasons that we don't really need the other two blue Deathsters, as we can easily Soul Blast one out with the cost of this card to recycle it. Although this is one of the weaker if you Persona Road do something cards for the cycle in this set, it still benefits us enough to justify a spot in this deck. Halton Vojo is a great card for us. Auto, when this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, cost CB1 and Soul Blast 1, search your deck or drop for up to 1 grade 3 set order, reveal it and put it into your hand. If you search your deck, shuffle your deck. Auto Rearguard Circle once per turn, when a set order is put into your order zone, this unit gets power plus 5k until end of turn. Because our Rideline doesn't search for the grade 3 order, we are running this as additional ways to find it without solely relying on drawing them. There's also Soul Blast, which can send another strategy order to the drop to be picked up by Enlightened Age Dragon. And here's the sample deck list. Boba Mine is an auto include with just how much CP we're using. You can even try to run more CC options if you feel like it. We are still running the Regala's orders because pulling off Persona Ride is so essential. Plus, we will probably have an extra strategy in the order zone to use even if we don't put one there from turn 4 onwards. The order ratio can also be messed with to fit your needs better, like removing a grade 2 set order for another grade 3 one, but I do suggest at least one copy of each for the Rideline to generate some value. Overall, I won't say the deck is great, but it did only just get introduced. Expect new cards for both the Death Star archetype as well as cards that rely on Persona Ride to power up this deck more in the future.